The effects of mercury-laden fillings are one of the top contributing causes of mercury poisoning. This can cause a wide range of problems, including hypothyroidism, tremors, insomnia, headaches, nerve damage, kidney problems, and respiratory failure. Other possible sources of contamination are from the environment, tinned food, certain fish, usually the bigger fish. The higher up the food chain, the more mercury that it contains, such as tuna. Other controversial sources of contamination are said to be from vaccinations. One problem can be, as mercury accumulates in the brain, a doctor testing your levels with urine analysis can fail to detect any long-term chronic toxicity, as the mercury is now lodged in the body and it's not freely passing through the urine as would happen from a sudden high-dose toxic exposure. Some signs and symptoms of having mercury poisoning are depression, dementia, insomnia, chronic fatigue, poor recovery from exercise, poor memory and learning problems, digestive issues such as irritable bowel syndrome, skin irritation, and autoimmune diseases. The significance of neuropsychiatric symptoms of mercury poisoning, such as insomnia, excessive dreaming, fatigue, weakness, memory loss, irritability, and feeling easily overwhelmed, may be easily missed by psychiatrists, as these symptoms can be easily confused with general neurotic or somatization problems. Some of the benefits of detoxing mercury are an improvement in mental performance, reduced free radical damage, energy levels get boosted, improved skin health, enhanced immunity, better digestive function, and weight loss due to enhanced metabolism from a better functioning thyroid. Glutathione is involved in the disposal of peroxides by the brain and in the protection against reactive oxygen species. In co-culture, astroglial cells protect other neural cell types against the toxicity of various compounds. The broad role of these astroglial cells is to maintain brain homeostasis and neural metabolism. Glutathione, as both a carrier of mercury and as an antioxidant, has three specific roles in protecting the body from mercury toxicity. First, glutathione specifically binds with the metal mercury and forms a complex that prevents mercury from binding to cellular proteins and causing damage to both enzymes and tissues. You should supplement with S-acetyl L-glutathione, taken at 100 milligrams twice per day. Unlike glutathione, acetyl glutathione is absorbed well orally. It's not affected by peptidases in the blood, and it's absorbed intact into the cell where the acetyl group is cleaved off, producing an intact reduced glutathione. Acetyl glutathione has been shown to effectively increase intracellular levels of glutathione. The most significant marker, which is considered a gold standard, is the F2 isoprostane, and this was significantly more reduced by oral S-acetyl glutathione than with intravenous glutathione. In the trial, they compared oral S-acetyl glutathione dosed at 200 milligrams daily for 7 days against intravenous 1,400 milligram single dose of glutathione. So this indicates that the S-acetyl glutathione may be the most effective way to increase cellular glutathione and speed up your mercury detoxification. N-acetylcysteine acts by replenishing the glutathione pool as a precursor for cysteine, which is the building block and the rate-limiting step in the glutathione synthesis. N-acetylcysteine is converted to cysteine through a deacetylation reaction catalyzed by acylase enzyme. Typical doses of N-acetylcysteine are 500 milligrams taken 3 times per day. One of the best food sources for raising cellular glutathione is asparagus. Also, the herb milk thistle is beneficial. People who are suffering from the effects of mercury toxicity tend to be depleted in selenium. This is because selenium is required in the production of glutathione in the body. A meta-analysis was undertaken to quantify the effects of dietary selenium supplementation on the activity of overall glutathione activity in different tissues and animal species, and to compare the effectiveness of different forms of dietary selenium. The glutathione activity response was affected by both the dose and the form of selenium. There was differences between tissues on the effects of selenium supplementation. However, there was no evidence in the data of differences between animal species. The interaction between dose and tissues, animal species and form were significant. Tissues particularly sensitive to changes in selenium supply include the red blood cells, the kidney, and the muscles. The kidneys are very important as a detoxification pathway. The meta-analysis identified that for animal species, selenium-enriched foods were more effective than selenomethionine supplementation for increasing glutathione activity. This means that a food source, being 3 Brazil nuts per day, would give better results than supplementation of 200 micrograms of a selenium supplement. As important as selenium is, you don't want to take higher than the recommended 200 micrograms per day of a supplement. However, you may be able to consume higher doses if it's in a food form matrix, such as in Brazil nuts. Chlorella is a good source of protein, fats, carbohydrates, fiber, chlorophyll, vitamins, and minerals. It may also act as an antioxidant and help to decrease cholesterol. Chlorella increases the elimination of mercury from the gastrointestinal tract, the muscles, the ligaments, connective tissue, and bone. Chlorella and cilantro as food materials can detoxify some neurotoxins, such as heavy metals like mercury, and toxic chemicals like phthalates, plasticizers, and insecticides. You want to start with 1 gram of chlorella taken 3 to 4 times per day, and then you can increase this dose up to 3 grams 3 to 4 times per day. Cilantro, or coriander, contains dodecanol, which is an antimicrobial compound, and this may help protect your body against infections and illnesses caused by tainted food. This compound is effective against salmonella, which is a microbe that can cause life-threatening food poisoning. According to various studies, heavy metal chelation using cilantro and chlorella can naturally remove, on average, 87% of lead, 91% of mercury, and 74% of aluminium from the body within 45 days. Vitamin C is known to decrease the mercury toxicity in organisms by enhancing the urinary elimination of metal to reduce hepatic and renal burden. The best form would be liposomal vitamin C, then a non-acidic pH buffered vitamin C, with the worst kind being a cheap acidic ascorbic acid. Vitamin C may be particularly helpful during the detox phase to help bind the toxins and remove them from the body more easily, preventing the common detoxification symptoms such as fatigue or headache. Most people are deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin D3 functions to increase intracellular glutathione, which is involved in cellular detoxification and metabolic pathways. It's activated in the kidneys and increases glutathione levels in the brain. This allows heavy metal detoxification in the brain. You want to get a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood test and then supplement accordingly with vitamin D3 to correct any deficiency. Detoxification with zeolites and different kinds of clays, such as bentonite clay, may be helpful, but there's debate as to whether these can cross the blood-brain barrier. Herbs and spices can help your body remove toxins. Some herbs to add to your diet would be milk thistle, cloves, and turmeric. Also garlic, because garlic is a sulfurous compound, and sulfur is important for binding up heavy metals. Another important sulfurous supplement is MSM, and MSM goes very well with vitamin C for detoxification. You can check out my other videos on hypothyroidism, chronic fatigue, on the various neurotransmitters for improving your mood, on nootropics for repairing brain damage and improving cognitive function, and on the various mental health conditions to find out more information about dealing with possible associated symptoms that may be a consequence of mercury toxicity.